Okay, so yesterday I gave one question. Most of you got that question, but I did not discuss that question yesterday. So first I will be discussing that question, and after that we will see some more questions. So that question was related to hardness of water, and it was said that the sample of hard water has 96 ppm sulfate. So sulfate is 96 parts per million, 96 ppm. And bicarbonate is 183 ppm. The only cation which is present is calcium ion. So all sulfate and bicarbonate are combined with calcium. This is the only cation which is present in hard water. It is told in the question. Now they are asking to calculate the number of moles of calcium oxide that will be required to remove bicarbonate from 1000 kg of this water. So you have to calculate how many moles of calcium oxide will be required to remove bicarbonate from 1000 kg of this water. Now bicarbonate concentration is 183 ppm. Now if bicarbonate concentration is 183 ppm, this simply means 10 to the power 6 gram of hard water contains 183 gram of bicarbonate. Now 10 to the power 6 gram of hard water means 1000 kg. So 1000 kg of water contains 183 gram of bicarbonate. So number of moles of bicarbonate present in this 1000 kg water will be 183 divided by the molecular weight of bicarbonate. Molecular weight of bicarbonate will be 61. So 3 moles. So you have 3 moles of bicarbonate. Now this entire bicarbonate will be combined with calcium, and this bicarbonate will be present as calcium bicarbonate because calcium is the only cation present in solution. So now if you calculate the number of moles of calcium bicarbonate, then you see in 1 mole of calcium bicarbonate, the number of moles of bicarbonate is 2. Then obviously the number of moles of calcium bicarbonate is half of the number of moles of bicarbonate. So this will be 3 by 2. If bicarbonate is 3 moles, calcium bicarbonate will be 3 by 2 moles, means 1.5 moles. Now you can calculate how many moles of calcium oxide will be needed to remove this calcium bicarbonate from hard water. You know the reaction. When you add calcium oxide, then this calcium oxide react with calcium bicarbonate and it gives calcium carbonate and water. This calcium carbonate is water insoluble. It will get precipitated and it will be removed from the solution. So this is balanced equation. So 1 mole of calcium oxide will remove 1 mole of calcium bicarbonate. So number of moles of calcium oxide needed will be equal to the number of moles of calcium bicarbonate. So number of moles of calcium oxide required will be same as the number of calcium bicarbonate, and this is 1.5. So this was one part of the question. Now next, they're asking if 1000 kg of this water is reacted with amount of calcium oxide calculated above, then what will be the concentration of residual calcium ions in ppm? So see, when you add calcium oxide, this calcium bicarbonate will be completely removed. But still, this sulfate ion is present in solution. You have added calcium oxide to remove calcium bicarbonate, still calcium sulfate is present in solution. So now you need to calculate what is the number of moles of calcium sulfate in solution. So sulfate is 96 ppm. That means 10 to the power 6 gram of hard water will contain 96 gram of sulfate, or 1000 kg of hard water will contain 96 gram of sulfate. So number of moles of sulfate in this 1000 kg of water will be weight of sulfate divided by the molecular weight of sulfate, and molecular weight of sulfate is also 96, so 1 mole. So after adding calcium oxide, entire calcium bicarbonate will be precipitated as calcium carbonate, but still calcium sulfate is there. We have 1 mole of sulfate, and since calcium is the only cation, so number of moles of calcium in this 1000 kg, or you do this way, number of moles of sulfate is 1, that means number of moles of calcium sulfate will also be 1. So number of moles of calcium ion in that 1000 kg of treated water will be 1. I have written here treated water. You must have understood. This is the water which we have after adding calcium oxide. It's after the treatment with calcium oxide. So number of moles of calcium ion is 1. So mass of calcium ion will be 40 gram. 1 mole of calcium ion will have mass 40 gram. Now this 40 gram calcium ion is present in 1000 kg or 10 to the power 6 gram of water. So you can say that 10 to the power 6 gram of water means this treated water has 40 gram of calcium ion. So concentration of calcium ion will be 40 ppm. So this is the second part. Now after that, there is one more part in the question, and they are saying that if calcium ions in 1 liter of this treated water are completely exchanged with hydrogen ions, then what will be the pH of solution? So see here, in this 10 to the power 6 gram of treated water, you have 40 gram calcium, means 1 mole of calcium. So 10 to the power 6 gram of treated water has 1 mole of calcium. Now if calcium ions are completely exchanged with hydrogen, then 1 mole of calcium will be exchanged with 2 moles of H plus. Charge on calcium ion is +2. So 1 calcium ion will be exchanged with 2 hydrogen ions. So 1 mole calcium will be exchanged with 2 moles of hydrogen ion. So number of moles of hydrogen ion will be 2. 1 mole calcium will be exchanged with 2 moles of hydrogen ion. Now these 2 moles of hydrogen ion are present in 1000 kg of water. It is present in 10 to the power 6 gram of water or 1000 kg of water. We want to calculate pH, so we need molar concentration of H plus. So number of moles of H plus is 2 and weight of water is 1000 kg. So volume of water will be 1000 liter. Since density is not given in the question, so we will assume that density is 1 gram per ml or 1 kilogram per liter. So volume of water will be 1000 liter. So 1000 liter water has 2 moles of H plus. So molar concentration of H plus, that will be number of moles of H plus divided by volume of water in liter. So it will become 2 into 10 to the power minus 3. Then pH of solution will be negative log of molar concentration of H plus. Substitute and calculate, you will get around 2.7. Now, let us do some more questions on calculation of degree of hardness of water. See this question. Very easy question. Question of your intermediate board level. A sample of water contains 6 grams of magnesium sulfate per 100 kg of water. What is the degree of hardness? What is the answer?
$50 ppm.
Can you tell again?
50 ppm.
50 ppm.
50 ppm. Right. So this, all of you must have got it. So how you have calculated? You must have calculated the number of moles of magnesium sulfate first, right?
1000 kg of water.
Right. So number of moles of magnesium sulfate will be 6 divided by its gram molecular weight.
120.
120. So this will be 1 by 20. Now, whatever number of moles of magnesium sulfate you have, that will be equated with the number of moles of calcium carbonate, because degree of hardness is always calculated in terms of mass of calcium carbonate. So if you have got 1 by 20 moles of magnesium sulfate, then you have to take number of moles of calcium carbonate also as 1 by 20. Then mass of calcium carbonate will be 1 by 20 into 100, that is 5 gram. Now degree of hardness, you know the formula. This is mass of calcium carbonate divided by mass of water into 10 to the power 6 ppm. So mass of calcium carbonate is 5 and mass of water is 100 kg. So it will be 100 into 10 to the power 3 gram into 10 to the power 6. So it will come 50 ppm. So this way we calculate degree of hardness. So number of moles of all the compounds present in hard water, whether it is magnesium sulfate, magnesium bicarbonate, calcium bicarbonate, calcium chloride, that is equated to the number of moles of calcium carbonate. Suppose you have 1 mole of calcium chloride in some hard water, then you have to write that number of moles of calcium chloride is 1, or number of moles of calcium carbonate is 1. The number of moles of calcium chloride will be equated to the number of moles of calcium carbonate, and from there we calculate the degree of hardness. Now, write another question. Like 200 milliliter of hard water. 200 milliliter of hard water was boiled with 100 milliliter of N by 10 solution of sodium carbonate. N by 50, this is not N by 10, N by 50. 200 milliliter of hard water was boiled with 100 milliliter of N by 50 solution of sodium carbonate. After boiling, right in continuation, after boiling, the volume was again made to 200 milliliter. After boiling, the volume was again made to 200 milliliter. Even after boiling, the final volume is 200 milliliter only. So after boiling, the volume was again made to 200 milliliter and the solution was filtered. 25 milliliter of the filtrate required 8.2 milliliter of N/50 hydrochloric acid for neutralization. Calculate the degree of permanent hardness. Calculate the degree of permanent hardness of water. Calculate the degree of permanent hardness of water. So I am reading the question again. 200 milliliter of hard water was boiled with 100 milliliter of N/50 sodium carbonate solution. After boiling, the volume of solution was again made to 200 milliliter and the solution was filtered. 25 milliliter of filtrate required 8.2 milliliter of N/50 hydrochloric acid for neutralization. Calculate the degree of permanent hardness of hard water. Solve it.
Sir, is it 4,350 ppm?
4,350 ppm. Answer is 172 ppm.
Yes, sir. 172 ppm.
Yeah, correct. 172 is answer.
Sir?
Answer is 172.
Yes.
All of you do this question. I'll wait for some time. Should I discuss it? So I'm discussing this question now. So you read the question. It said that 200 milliliter of hard water was boiled with 100 milliliter of sodium carbonate, and the sodium carbonate solution is N by 50. Now, you know, when sodium carbonate is added to hard water, what kind of hardness is removed? Temporary hardness or permanent hardness or both?
Both can be.
Both will be removed. So, you know, temporary hardness will be because of the presence of calcium bicarbonate, bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. If you add sodium carbonate here, then this will give you calcium carbonate and 2 moles of sodium bicarbonate. Now this calcium carbonate will get precipitated. So you can remove calcium carbonate by filtration, and if calcium ion is removed from the solution, then obviously hardness will be removed. If you have calcium chloride, you know, this calcium bicarbonate, this causes temporary hardness. Calcium chloride causes permanent hardness. If you add sodium carbonate here, then this will react to give calcium carbonate, which will be precipitated, and another thing will be NaCl, which will be soluble. So again, by adding sodium carbonate, you can remove calcium ion from the solution, means from the hard water. If you are able to remove calcium ion, this hardness will be removed. Suppose you have calcium sulfate. Sulfate also causes permanent hardness, sulfate of calcium or magnesium. If you add sodium carbonate, you will get calcium carbonate precipitate, and another thing which will form will be sodium sulfate, which is water soluble. So by adding sodium carbonate, this calcium ion can be removed from hard water in the form of calcium carbonate. If calcium is removed, means hardness will be removed. So these two are the cases of permanent hardness, and this is the case of temporary hardness. So by adding sodium carbonate, you can remove temporary as well as permanent hardness. Both can be removed. Now, here they have added sodium carbonate to the hard water. After boiling, the volume was again made to 200 milliliter and the solution was filtered. 25 milliliter of this filtrate required 8.2 milliliter of N by 50 HCl for neutralization. You are supposed to calculate the degree of permanent hardness. Now, see in the question they are talking about permanent hardness only. So we will assume that the temporary hardness is not there. Means somehow that temporary hardness has been removed before addition of sodium carbonate. Because directly they are asking us to calculate permanent hardness. Means we will assume that bicarbonate is not there. There is no temporary hardness right now. It has been removed before addition of the sodium carbonate. So now this sodium carbonate which we are adding, that will remove permanent hardness, means that will remove this calcium chloride or calcium sulfate if anyone is present. Now just to read the last line of the question. The total volume of hard water is 200 milliliter. By filtration, that insoluble thing has been separated, means calcium carbonate has been separated, and then 25 milliliter of the filtrate required 8.2 milliliter of N by 50 HCl for neutralization. Now just to tell me, in this last reaction when you add HCl, which compound will be reacting with HCl?
Sodium carbonate only, if you are assuming only carbonate.
Means whatever amount of sodium carbonate has not been used in removing this hardness of water and left unreacted, they will be neutralized by HCl, right? So when you add sodium carbonate, some amount of sodium carbonate will be utilized in removing all these calciums, means in removing all this hardness, and some amount of sodium carbonate has left unreacted, and that has been neutralized by adding HCl. In other words, we have added sodium carbonate in excess in the beginning. So you calculate how many moles of sodium carbonate are left unreacted. So the sodium carbonate is getting neutralized with HCl. The reaction is known to us. Now HCl is 8.2 milliliter N by 50. So millimoles of HCl consumed is volume in milliliter multiplied by its molarity. Molarity is 1 by 50. Its normality and molarity will be same. But this 8.2 milliliter has been consumed with 25 milliliter of the filtrate. What is the total volume of filtrate? That is 200 milliliter. So this much has been consumed by 25 ml only, but total volume is 200 milliliter. So total number of moles of HCl consumed by complete water will be 8 times of this. So this is the millimoles of HCl consumed. Now, if 2 moles of HCl are consumed, then number of moles of sodium carbonate left will be 1. So from here you can get the number of millimoles of sodium carbonate left unreacted in treated water. This will be initial number of moles. So number of millimoles of sodium carbonate left unreacted in treated water, that will be half of the number of moles of HCl. So number of moles of HCl consumed is this much. Now if you divide it by 2, then you will get the number of moles of sodium carbonate left unreacted. So this will be 8.2 into 8 divided by 100. Now, next we will calculate how many millimoles of sodium carbonate we have added in the beginning. So, number of millimoles of sodium carbonate added initially. We have added 100 milliliter N by 50. So number of millimoles will be volume in milliliter multiplied by its molarity. Its normality is 1 by 50 and N factor for sodium carbonate will be 2. So molarity will be normality divided by N factor. So this will be 1. So 1 millimole of sodium carbonate we have added initially. These many millimoles of sodium carbonate were left unreacted. So number of millimoles of sodium carbonate consumed in the removal of hardness will be 1 minus 8.2 into 8 by 100. Now see the equations which I have written in the beginning. I have written how this sodium carbonate is removing that hardness of water. You can see 1 mole of sodium carbonate will remove 1 mole of calcium sulfate, or 1 mole of sodium carbonate will remove 1 mole of calcium chloride. So number of moles of calcium salts in water will be same as the number of moles of this sodium carbonate which has been used. Can anyone tell how much is this difference coming?
0.344.
0.344.
344.
So number of moles of calcium salts in hot water will be this 0.344, and whatever moles of calcium salt are there, that will be equated to the number of moles of calcium carbonate. So number of moles of calcium carbonate will be 0.344. So mass of calcium carbonate.
So that's millimoles, sir.
Okay, this is millimoles. Okay, I am writing here m, small m. You can understand this is millimoles. So number of moles will be 0.344 into 10 to the power minus 3. So it will 0.344 into 10 to the power minus 3 into its gram molecular mass, that is 100. So we got mass of calcium carbonate, then degree of hardness we can calculate, that is mass of calcium carbonate. This will become now 10 to the power minus 1 divided by mass of water. Water is 200 ml, means 200 gram multiplied by 10 to the power 6. So are you getting 172 ppm? So answer will be this 172 ppm.
Sir, when they gave that 25 ml solutions reacting with some amount of HCl, and you have to convert it to initial solution, you multiplied it by 8, no sir?
Yeah, we have multiplied. You see in one of the steps, how we got this 8.8 into 8. From where this 8 came?
Sir, instead of 200 ml, we should take 300 ml, no, sir, of solution, which became 25 ml.
No. We will calculate for water. No? We have to add here mass of, we have to divide here by mass of water. We are calculating degree of hardness of water. Not
Yes, sir.
here in denominator, this is a mass of water, not mass of solution.
Okay, sir.
The degree of hardness is the weight of calcium carbonate divided by weight of water into 10 to the power 6. If anyone has any doubt in any of the steps, that you can ask. If there is no doubt, then we will go for next question. Is it clear? Okay, now do one more question. Right, a sample of hydrogen sulfate formula is given N2H6SO4 was dissolved in sample of hydrogen sulfate was dissolved in 100 milliliter of water. Ten milliliter of the solution was reacted with 10 milliliter of the solution was reacted with excess of ferric chloride solution. Ten milliliter of the solution was reacted with excess of ferric chloride solution and warmed to complete the reaction. Ferrous ion, Fe+2 ion formed was estimated and it required 20 ml of M/50, molarity is 1/50, potassium permanganate solution. Calculate calculate the amount of hydrogen. Calculate the amount of hydrogen in 1 liter of solution. Calculate the amount of hydrogen in 1 liter of solution. Here in the question, few reactions are also given. And one reaction is of ferric ion with hydrogen. And other is the reaction of permanganate ion with ferrous ion. So these two reactions are given. Second reaction is MnO4 minus plus 5 ferrous ion plus 8 H plus. In the product side, you have manganese plus 2 plus 5 ferric plus 4 water.
Six point five.
6.5,
Five.
correct. Are you getting it? See, read the reactions. It is very clear from there that hydrogen is reacted with ferric chloride. It is giving nitrogen, ferrous, and H+. Now, in the question, they have said that you have taken sample of hydrogen sulfate and you have dissolved that in 100 milliliter of water. After that, you have taken 10 milliliter of the solution and that was reacted with excess of ferric chloride. Now, when hydrogen is reacted with ferric ion, you are getting nitrogen and ferrous. Now, here, you can easily say that the number of equivalents of ferrous ion will be equal to the number of equivalents of hydrogen. In the reactant side, there are two reactants only. One is ferric, other is hydrogen. Product side, we have nitrogen, ferrous, and H+. Now, ferric ion is in excess. So, number of equivalents of ferrous will not be equal to number of equivalents of ferric because ferric is in excess. But you can equate that with the number of equivalents of hydrogen. So, number of equivalents of ferrous will be equal to number of equivalents of hydrogen. And after that, that ferrous is reacted with permanganate. So, number of equivalents of ferrous will be equal to number of equivalents of permanganate. So, one thing is number of equivalents of hydrogen is equal to number of equivalents of ferrous. Next, number of equivalents of ferrous is equal to number of equivalents of permanganate. And after that, only calculations are there. Can you do it?
Sir, what is the answer, sir?
Answer is 6.5 gram. 6.5 gram is the answer. They're asking you the amount of hydrogen sulfate. So you take hydrogen sulfate here. Okay, all of you try this question. Mostly you will get it. Anyway, I will do this question tomorrow. And after that, tomorrow I'm thinking of taking atomic structure. And then we will see for some other chapter. Okay, so we are closing for the day. We'll meet tomorrow again.